Hi, I'm Adam Kingshott. I'm Clevertouch Marketing Director for the Boxlight Group. We're here talking to you today about our experience of enterprise in 22 and our vision for 23. I'm with Mark. Mark, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, thank you Adam. So I'm Mark Tildesley. I'm the Enterprise Sales Director for EMEA at Clevertouch Technologies. Thank you for having me along.
Great. So Mark, you joined us in January this year?
Yep, January.
Yeah, well, welcome to the business. How has 2022 been for you?
It's been incredibly exciting. It's a fantastic place to work. It's a great team, great people, and everybody says that, but it generally is like that in this business. But also, we've got a unique story, unique proposition, which is really finding flavour of what people are asking for and talking about in the market today.
Yeah, I mean, we're sat here today in our Clevertouch gallery, and I know that this is pretty much your home Monday to Friday, along with quite a few of our colleagues. What do you believe kind of like makes us kind of stand out as a business, and what do you see are the key points that people have been really buying into in 2022?
I think there's a couple of key points actually. One is everything we talk about is ironically, technology comes second. Yeah. It's about the user first, and as an organisation, we not only say that by knowing the way that we live and breathe almost. That's what we believe, and it's not just about a single box or a single solution. It's about end-to-end experience for the user. It's about creating flexible solutions, and that again, it's not just the meeting room. It's the whole enterprise environment from the front door to the boardroom. That's the advantage we have, and the unique story that we have, and we have great fun doing it as well. It's good fun. It's good fun.
I mean, how often do you hear about that kind of user experience where, I mean, I take myself, for example, as the average person going into a meeting room, and I just want my presentation on the board and I want to do some basic annotation, and people just can't do that.
I tell you what, that's a really interesting point, I think over this last year, what we've seen is actually Microsoft Teams rooms, Zoom rooms, and standardised solutions have actually delivered now on that one-touch join. Not necessarily annotation yet, but the one-touch walk up and join. But I think what we're seeing, there's a challenge there though, is that as an industry, what we need to do that, instead of that being the zenith of our aims, that now becomes the base. That's the base level. The very ability to walk into a room and use the technology isn't aspirational. That should be a base. When I walk into a room and turn the light switch on, that just starts. That's the start of the journey. Yeah? And it's the same with your phone. Your phone, yes, it's a phone, but what else can it do? All the other applications we use on our phone. The same, I think, with meeting rooms, with MTR, with Zoom, which are fantastic, and that core walk-up, one-touch use and meeting equity with people outside the building is amazing. But the key thing for us to do now as an industry is actually go beyond that and use technology beyond that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, again, the hardware almost becomes irrelevant yet again. And it's almost about what is underpinning that to make it all come together and work together. And for us, it's been Clever Live has been a really essential product for us, along with our partnerships who are Microsoft Teams certified. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so again, so if you look at, I think a lot of people going back to work after lockdown, a lot of the challenge originally was to get the meeting spaces working, so your workforce can work wherever they are. So whether they're at home or whether they're across the world, you get the meeting equity. Yeah. That's great, and that's why our partnership with people like Logitech particularly is so important to us. So we can give that Microsoft Teams rooms, Zoom rooms, Google, however you want to work. Yes, we can do that. What the advantage is, there's two streams to our value, I believe, though, beyond that, which I think which particularly relevant to our end user conversations. One is in that meeting space. So when you're doing your MTR, how many meeting spaces are just used for video calls? Yeah, they're not many at all. So to have the ability to use an interface for your video call, but then for your in-room collaboration, to jump on a collaborative call with people externally as well, and to go so much beyond just that. I want to work on Google, you want to work on Teams, and Mary wants to work in Zoom. The ability to have multi-use meeting spaces that can work collaboratively, how you want to work, but are still underpinned by those standards. That's key. And the other stream, I think, of the value right now is actually for creating the environment for the end user is actually beyond the meeting room. Yeah. So it's the reception sign-in, it's the wayfinding, like you said with Clevertouch Live, the ability to actually have a single solution from the front door to the boardroom that underpins everything. Even to an MTR environment, when the screen's not being used, signage playing, to get the corporate messaging across. Like health and safety, company news.
Yeah.
That's proven really popular because that one bit of tech at the beginning of it, sorry, meeting space, and suddenly you've got so much more end user experience and value out of that.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, now? Because the end user or the average person that works in a company wants to know that kind of essential information. Where do I go? What do I need to do? Available meeting rooms. But as soon as you go into that building, no longer do you need to be searching, sending an email. And I feel like as I walk through the city to go back home on the train, the amount of screens I see off in a meeting room, and that's fine when the meeting room's not being used, but actually you've got screens which are passive throughout the whole of the building, and they're just running like a blank screen, and they're not running any kind of corporate information. And I think the change for us is transformational, and I believe, you know, that's where that kind of clever live message comes in, where we talk about that kind of like, let's give people as much communication as possible. I mean, communication is probably one of the biggest art forms I think every company has a challenge with. I mean, how do you think companies can address that, and what is going to be important to the enterprise market within 2023?
So I think in 2023 actually, and I'll touch upon the point you raised, but 2023 we've got to come into, we are actually right now, it's a unique situation now. It's a change now. We've come back after lockdown, we've gone back to work and we've rushed to get back to the office. But let's be honest now, we are into tough economic times. Yeah? And everyone's going to find that industry. So I think that what that will drive is company, it necessitates getting people back into the office because you need your people together, collaborating, working effectively. Not for the sake of it, you know, you still need the ability to work from home and far more of the hybrid model, working, but when you are in the office, to have an amazing experience. So I think the days of having workplace where you just have a single use with Microsoft Teams room or Zoom room, great solution. Just that in one room, well, you should be using that, you know, in a recession type environment we're in. You need to be using that technology. If you're going to invest in technology you can use as much as possible, and sort of sweat the best value from that technology. I think that's the key thing for organisations.
Yeah. So we're talking about their 2023, but what we want to know with the opportunities and also the change in the global economic circumstances. What do you think of the opportunities there for the industry as a whole?
I think the opportunities there actually is to actually really listen to your end user and truly engage with the user. And it's not just the IT manager or the facilities manager, but actually it's more like the HR. Yeah, it's the HR, it's the people management people. It's the actual real users. The IT manager, the facilities managers are the people that sign off on the job. The people that use it are the team in the advertising, the team in the accounts department, the marketing team. They're the people who actually use the product day in, day out. So I think, you know, if I go back to the platform-based meeting room solutions are fantastic as a base point. But how you go beyond that. You know, if I go use the phone analogy, I said, well, we have phones, but I bet the applications on my phone are different applications on your phone. Yeah. So, but we've still got the same call. We can all still make the same calls and work together. Which is what you do beyond that. So I think from our industry, bring it back to our industry. First of all, it's not AV or IT. It's not AV versus IT. It's just technology. Our job is, like I said, it should always become visible with the user, where actually understanding what the user wants to achieve. So it's just our challenge as an industry. I challenge our industry. Talk to your user. What's the outcome? Don't worry about the tech. What's the outcomes you want? What's the experience when your people walk through the door in the morning, when they walk into that meeting room, when they walk into that meeting space, the cafeteria, wherever it might be in your building? What do you want them to be able to do? Then our job as an industry is to then deliver the tech that allows them to do that. How it does it, they shouldn't even care really. It's just magically delivers the solution they want. That's our challenge in the industry, I think.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, isn't it?
Don't hide behind, MTR or Zoom rooms or platforms say nice tick box solutions. It's not tick box solutions.
It is all about that kind of standardization of multiple sites, the same user experience, no matter where you are in the world. If you're going to an office environment where you are, the experience should be the same no matter what.
That's a great point, Adam, actually. One of the things I'd say as well is actually almost take the time in the initial conversations, and it sounds like I'm teaching granny to suck eggs on this, but it's more important than ever. No, it's not about just delivering multiple MTRs and meeting rooms or even signage. Talk to your client. What are they really trying to do? And then once you've got it right once, and then roll it out across the globe, across the estate. Yeah, having partners a consistent solution globally.
Okay, great. So how about what's next for our industry?
So that's what I think actually is, it's going to sound quite corny almost, where, you know, we live in a world of the smart home, smartphones, smart cars, smart watches. And I think that's actually what we need to do as an industry. Actually, it's about the tech in the meeting place.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's not IT and AV, it's the tech, it's smart tech working together to suit the user. Like I said about the phone, you know, my phone is different to your phone, but it's still a phone. We have the ability, with the technology we have in the industry at Clevertouch, and I know in the industry as a whole, to actually deliver, have the consistency of that walk up and one touch join, consistency of use anywhere you want, but still have the flexibility to offer unique solutions in a secure environment. And I think that's where we get that with things like proximity, NFR, QR codes, the ability to, again, think of the user, think of how the user wants to actually truly engage with it. How do we engage with our phones, with our homes, with everything else we have in this smart world? We need to drive our strategy that way. And beyond that, I think maybe in a year from now we'll be talking far more about really the metaverse, artificial intelligence. That's the exciting things. I think that's where we're going forward. But let's almost get a head up from the standardised metering solutions of one-touch join thinking tick. That's modern workplace done. So look at the full end-to-end workplace environment that works how the user wants to work. Then bring it together in a smart environment so it's seamless coordination for the user. And so then we'll look at the fun things about metaverse and AI going forward in the future times.
Mark, thanks for joining me today. It's been great catching up on the industry on 2022. Really looking forward to 23, whatever that might bring, and we'll speak again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.